Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha.
The word meditation is used in so many different and confusing ways that it's virtually a null word, a word with no meaning at all. For instance, we speak of meditating on a problem. So meditation is working things out in our head. We meditate on an idea. So meditation is just thinking about something. A lot of visualizations are also called meditation. So meditation is a form of daydreaming. The purpose of having words for things is so that we can distinguish that thing from any other thing. So what really is meditation? In the cultures where true meditation originated, there are basically three mental processes that qualify as meditation. The first is concentration. There are a range of meditative techniques which are classified as concentration. These range from candle gazing to some of the Vipassana meditations to fixing the mind on one unbroken thought. Different concentration techniques produce subtly different results, but they all have one common goal. That is to train the mind to be in the control of its user. Most people don't have any real control over their minds. They just think that they do. It has never occurred to most people that there's a difference between thinking and having a thought. Now, this isn't a criticism. Most people are brought up that way and are never told that there's a science of how to use their minds. They're never encouraged to look inside their own heads to see and notice the process of how they think, rather than the content of what they think. Whatever the reason, people have no mind control, and concentration techniques are a way of gaining that control. Concentration ability is then used in various other yogic practices that require advanced mind control. Concentration is also necessary to the effective use of contemplation techniques. This is why, although they appear easier, contemplation techniques are generally considered to be an advanced progression from concentration techniques. Let's look at contemplation. If concentration is fixing the mind rigidly on an unwavering point and flogging it back into place every time it wanders, then contemplation is giving the mind some latitude to wander within a restricted area. In contemplation, we give the mind a subject, a thought, or just a concept, and allow it to explore increasingly deeper levels of that subject. With most people's minds, the result would be for the mind to either wander off onto irrelevant side issues or just to wander around in circles at the surface of the subject. But for someone who's attained even a small degree of competence in meditation, contemplation opens the doors to much deeper levels of understanding of whatever the subject of the contemplation is. So summarizing, both concentration and contemplation are forms of meditation. They are mainly used to train the mind, or as a tool to use the mind. If we think of the mind as a large pool, then you can look at concentration as a swimmer who disciplines themselves to swim in just one fixed direction. And we can look at contemplation as a swimmer who allows themselves to swim around inside a small restricted area. But they are both swimming on the surface. And this is where we come to the third type of meditation. These are power techniques. If we return to the analogy of the swimmer, where the previous two meditation techniques keep the swimmer on the surface, a power technique allows the swimmer to dive deep down below the surface. Power meditation operates by taking your awareness deeper through your mind until it reaches the deepest and subtlest levels of thought. From there it continues, and the awareness leaves the mind and starts its journey into what are usually described as the spiritual realms. The effect of repeated meditations, using a power technique, is that the meditator evolves spiritually. Some contemplation techniques are also used for spiritual development, but their effects are more gentle. Their effects on the mental and emotional levels of the mind are strong and produce results very quickly, but their spiritual effects are slower and typically take many years to produce noticeable results. Power meditation techniques are not usually taught outside the East, where they originate, and this is because they are only taught by meditation masters who belong to a specific lineage that uses advanced yogic practices. These teachers have no interest in teaching to large crowds or having lots of supporters. They don't advertise, they don't teach to large crowds, and they don't operate through an organization, and they most certainly will not have a website. It's not easy to find a true teacher who teaches a power meditation, and this is because they are not looking for students. In fact, they usually make it difficult not only to find them, but also to be taught. These techniques are only taught to those who are on a serious path of spiritual development, and those who have only an idle curiosity are turned away.
Om Gram Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gram Ganapataye Namaha.